Well, thanks for joining the show. I didn't think.
Thanks for having me.
Well, I mean, we've been working on it. People ask me, "How'd you get that done?" I was like, "I've been talking to her for like 4 months." He keeps saying
We just
next
have
week.
to have an agreement that the next time we do this, we don't wait till the end of this to go, damn, we should have had a beer when we started
I
this.
will agree with this. I will
We,
agree
we,
with this.
we will make adjustments before the next
This
episode.
this I don't know how that episode will go though. That may have some heightened voices.
Well, it sometimes it just has to be whatever it is.
Got
So
to get Donnie on here with us. That'd be even funnier.
I don't know, man. If you get him drinking too much, he starts singing Tina Turner, and it can go, it can kind of be like your karaoke deal. I mean, it can be okay or it can be really bad. So I don't, we've got to really think about that
So the
aspect
so
of it.
the annoying part goes away from the hairline to the voice.
Yes. Yes.
I'm just messing.
Yes.
I'm just messing. We never even talked about the
Your words.
Ford deal.
I'm
You
just
know
saying
that,
yes.
right? We never even talked about the Ford deal this entire time.
No,
We
yeah,
did.
you're right. We
We
haven't.
didn't even. I just it just crossed my mind. Didn't even talk about it.
All right. Well, we still have Fords. We haven't sold any of our motors. We just have to put something in that we don't have enough parts to run them right now. That is the full extent of the
So the
Ford deal.
rumor of you're getting the Mark Kinzer Mopars out of the shed and refurbishing them with Mopar, that's not happening.
Didn't even know that was a rumor,
I'm
but
just kidding. I'm just making it up.
that's why I hadn't heard it then. No, I mean it's not the ideal situation by any means. I mean we've put a lot of money into this development of this motor, and unfortunately there's just been setback after setback. Um, where we stand right now is we just don't have parts. If we stayed with the program as scheduled, by the time we got to the Knoxville Nationals, we would not have motors to compete at the Knoxville Nationals. And that is not something that I can sit there and look Donny Schatz in the eyes and say, I'm sorry, we're not going to be able to field a car there because we don't have parts, we don't have heads, we don't have blocks. So there were unfortunate setbacks. Ford's as unhappy about it as we are, obviously. But at the same time, I'm proud that Ford is not throwing in the towel and saying we're not going to come up with a solution. They're going to work through a solution. But in the meantime, I've got to fix my race team. Um, we've kind of been down this path long enough and had enough setbacks that it's starting to affect my guys and obviously Donnie as a driver. So um, we're all committed to it getting fixed, but right now I can't be the guinea pig in the process. I can't just keep going down the path we're on. So I need to do some stuff to fix my program and get us in a better spot. And, at the point that, Ford gets these motors where they feel like they're right. And through the whole process, we'll test anytime they have something they want us to run. We'll have it in a car and we'll go to a test session and we'll have two cars to where Donnie can feel both motors and feel like we're in the right direction or wrong direction, and we'll do whatever we can to support it. But in the meantime, we still got to run a race team and a professional race team at that. And when we're running out of parts and we're band-aiding things to get to the next event, it's not sustainable. So it's not that we're abandoning the program. It's not that we're against the program, but we have to survive. We got to eat, and that's Donnie's living. It's these crew guys living, and we got obligations to our other partners that are on the cars to put our best foot forward. So sometimes in doing that, you have to make tough decisions that people will agree with or don't understand everything. But being in the position I am and knowing the situation we're in, we had to make this change. And thank God we were mindful of it months ago and at least enacted a insurance policy in case we needed them. Unfortunately, we do need them now. So I'm at least grateful that we were forward thinking enough to put the plan in place because we knew if we didn't need it and everything got better that we would get our money back out of them. But if we didn't get them ordered when we did, there was no way we would have had them in time to do what we're doing now, and we would be in a really bad spot this week.
So do y'all have a good supply of Chevy motors, or is it still you
Not
need
yet.
some more? Or
Yeah, we definitely need more. I mean, we have pieced together uh, two different packages, and we're we're basically the motor that's in there now is a Kistler, and Donnie seems to be happy with it right now. So right now, instead of changing motors in and out and trying to figure out which motor he likes better, he's happy with what he's got. We need to work on our race cars right now and give Todd and the crew guys and Donnie a shot to get the balance of the car where it needs to be. So it is a difference in weight in the motors, and I'm not sure I think the Ford's a little bit heavier, so weight and balance of it is an issue that we're having to work through right now to get the balance back with the car. So we'll work through it. Like I said, I hope everything
While trying to keep up with David Gravel and Carson
yeah.
Macedo
Yeah, well,
and Hodden
I,
Shout and all and Kofoid's on his rise, you know.
while they're pulling away in the point standings and driving away from us because we're having issues, we can't afford that. So financially, I couldn't afford where we were at right now because the way we're having to band it. I mean, Ron Shaver is an awesome engine builder, and the things that he was having to do to just get us through, you would not typically do, and he busts his ass to keep us going with the Fords. So we've got a couple of his that Donnie had for the nieces, but I'm hesitant to run it because they're not my motors, they're Donnie's motors, and they're for the girls to run with their season this year. So we're trying to not use them if we don't have to, but Donnie has been very gracious, and so have the girls about if we need them, put them in. So we'll do what we have to do, but right now we gotta give Ford time to get stock back up on the things that we need that we don't have, and finish this project.
Well, the hardcore Donnie fans are praising Allah for this move. You know, they think the Ford is what destroyed his dominance. And we were running down the stats a couple months ago or a month ago, I think it was, and it was like because Gravel, if he wins 37 this year, he passes Wolfgang. And I was trying to see who had won an abundant amount, and it was the Donnie years. It was 24, 31, and then it went 12, and then it went 5 and 3 and 4, and I was like, holy shit. And it was like it aligned with the Ford change. Obviously there was the Ricky Warner situation, but bow tie to blue oval is what these damn rednecks out here in the dirt world that love Chevrolet motors, and Chevy's dominated the dirt track industry,
Yeah.
sprint cars
Yeah.
for sure.
So I would say the motors have had a hand in it, but we knew that going into it. I mean, the reason we went the Ford route was because Donnie wasn't happy with these motors. So I made the commitment to start a
So
new
it was Donnie's
program.
idea.
Well, it was my idea, but I had listened to him complain about his motors long enough that it's like we have to make a big move, and this was a big move switching to Ford. So Ford was excited about it, we're excited about it, Donnie was excited about it, and so off we went. But after 8 years of it now, we don't have a lot to show for it. I mean, we still have a Knoxville Nationals win out
Kings
of it,
Royal,
Kings Royal. I mean,
National
there's
Open.
been some highlights, but not to the level that we're accustomed to. But that's not you mentioned it, that's not the only variable in the equation that changed, and that also was not my idea. That was not what I wanted for our race team, but that's what two of the three guys in the race team wanted, and that's the change that happened because of it. So um, I think everybody that in that period of time would love to go back and rethink that decision, but I was not on board with that decision. But I did what needed to be done to salvage the race team.
Well, I guess you're speaking of the Ricky Warner Donny Schatz
Yes.
split,
Yeah, yeah,
and
I was
then
definitely not a fan of that.
Scuba was a lineage of that, right? I believe,
Yes.
and now Todd is the lineage of Scuba. Correct? Is that how that
Well,
works? Kind of
Todd's lineage of Ricky.
as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
So but Scuba did a great job too, but Scuba got thrown to the wolves with the motor program on top of it. And so, you know, you're not taking the same package there. So it didn't do Scuba any favors, and it's not been doing Todd any favors at the beginning of the season either here. So at least now having a motor in there that is not the variable in the equation that we're worried about, now they can focus on the things that they need to work on.
Well, and
So
if it's the Chevy, as all the fans say, well, I was saying the other day, it'd take about a month to
they're all
see
that
where it's
smart.
at,
They all
but
want to buy race cars and own race teams, and we can all go race against each other.
it'll take
But I
about a month. I still think it'll take a
appreciate
month.
your opinions, but it's not all that. I can tell you that for a fact. I mean, I drove those motors too, and I mean, literally the last three races I ran, I won in Virginia. I ran sixth at Williams Grove and seventh at Port Royal. It's like they weren't that bad. I mean,
Right.
for me to run the top 10 in PA is a big deal for me. I'm not Donny Schatz,
So
and
is it a GoPro thing then? I always
Oh,
make this joke. It's a GoPro thing. Like when people don't want a GoPro on their car because they may wreck the vehicle, it's like, no, the GoPro didn't drive the vehicle into the wall and flip it into the fence. You did that. You could blame the GoPro,
yeah.
and it's a lack of self accountability.
Well, it goes back to what over an hour ago we talked about. I mean, people make their decision off of 100% of the information they have. So it's not saying that the people aren't wrong. They just don't know all the variables of the equation and all the details that encompass the whole package of it and the whole decision making. They're making their decision off of the limited information that they have. So it doesn't mean they're wrong. It just means they don't have all the info they need to have.
Well, I mean, if Donnie comes out, starts ripping them off in the Chevy here soon, I mean, it's gonna.
That'd be great.
I
I
mean,
just want to win races again and have fun with my race team again. It's
yeah.
not fun when they're not running good. Donnie's not fun to be around. He's
No,
like
he's
me when
not.
they're
He's not. I
not
said it.
running
He's
good.
not.
But I don't want him to be fun to be around when we're not running good. I want him to
Right.
be pissed off. I mean,
Right.
he's got standards and it's my job to give him the equipment he needs to go do his job.
Well, it's a big change. I would think it's a big change to go back to Chevys after what is that 4 years or 5 years straight now?
8
2020,
years.
8 years, 8 years. Okay, so it was
8
2019
years. Yeah.
or what? Wait, that'd be six.
Be more than that.
So his last championship was
Seven.
18, I
Oh,
believe. So it was 19 or 20 that he
yeah.
switched. So it would have been 5 or 6. But regardless,
Yeah.
a long years of one motor program and now over to a Chevy. That's a big change. Just going
And
hell. Some people say going from
there was overlap too. There was overlap when we started the Ford program until we were able to start running them.
right.
So
Well, I mean, some people say going from a Rider to a Kistler is a big change. So it is a change. It is a big change.
every motor builder's got their package and it's developed off of what their driver's feedback was. And so I agree. Every motor builder's got a different package that feels a different way and throttles different and every driver wants something a little different. So that's why having all these different manufacturers and all these different engine builders, that's why it's so key and why everybody doesn't just run whatever the hot one is, everybody doesn't just jump ship and go to that. It's because they have a package that's working for them that they're happy with. So when somebody comes up with a new package that's better, you'll see some guys jump on that train and some guys will drive it and don't necessarily like the way it feels. So it's still about driver preference.
And then you got some Ferrari motors out there too. The guys with the special names, and not everybody gets to have one. And
Yeah,
apparently, those are going to start being six-figure engines soon.
I hope not because that's not
That's
sustainable for
not
this.
sustainable. Not currently, no. But when you got that little specialness, I guess they could start throwing special prices on it.
That's kind of the way the world works,
Hmm.
unfortunately.
The
I should
Ferrari.
say, unfortunately. I mean, if you come up with something that's better and
Yeah.
you can get people to pay a premium price for it, good for you.
Unless they
That's what
can patent it like Jeff did with those bleeders, man. He did a good job there on making sure
Yeah.
he's paid for that. I mean, imagine all the patents Sammy and Carl Kinzer could have did for sprint car parts. They'd
Yeah.
be millionaires today.
Yeah. I don't know that they'd be the same, but they'd be millionaires for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.